You have been scrolling through marketplace listings for hours, looking at rust buckets and overpriced disasters, wondering if you will ever find the golden ticket into the car scene. But let me stop you right there, because the answer has been staring you in the face since the 1990s. We are talking about the BMW E36. It sits right in that sweet spot between the classic, boxy charm of the E30 and the more modern, computerized complexity of the E46, making it arguably the absolute best chassis for anyone looking to get their hands dirty for the first time. When you pop that hood, you are not greeted by a terrifying mess of plastic covers and impossible-to-reach sensors like you see on modern cars. Instead, you see an engine bay that actually makes sense. There is room to work. You can actually see the ground through the gaps in the engine bay. Whether you are looking at a 318i with a 4-cylinder or the legendary 328i with that buttery smooth M52 inline-six, everything is laid out logically. You grab your 10mm socket and your ratchet, and you feel like a mechanic, not a computer programmer. And speaking of engines, let us talk about that inline-six sound. There is nothing quite like the mechanical symphony of a BMW straight-six singing at 6,000 revolutions per minute. It is intoxicating. But what really makes this the perfect project car for you is the sheer availability of parts and knowledge. You are never alone with an E36. If something breaks, and let us be honest, it is a 30-year-old car, so things will break. Someone, somewhere on a forum in 2005 has already had that exact same problem, fixed it, and wrote a detailed guide with photos. You can go to sites like FCP Euro or Pelican Parts and get everything you need without selling a kidney. Let's talk about the driving experience, because that is why we do this, right? The hydraulic power steering in these cars gives you feedback that modern electric racks just cannot replicate. You feel every pebble, every texture of the road through that steering wheel. It communicates with you. It teaches you car control in a way that is forgiving yet rewarding. If you want to learn how to drift, the E36 is practically the standard issue training weapon of choice. Weld the differential or throw in a limited slip diff, and you have a machine that is predictable and balanced. The 50-50 weight distribution is not just marketing hype. You can feel it when you toss the car into a corner. Now, I know what you are thinking. What about the maintenance nightmares? Sure, the cooling system is the Achilles heel of this platform. The plastic water pump impeller and that brittle radiator neck are ticking time bombs. But fixing them is almost a rite of passage. Replacing the entire cooling system with aluminum components is a Saturday afternoon job that will teach you the basics of plumbing, bleeding a system, and wrenching, and once it is done, the car is bulletproof. You also get to deal with the infamous door panels that like to separate and bubble up, or the headliner that eventually sags and touches your hair while you are driving. But these are cosmetic quirks that give the car character, or at least that is what we tell ourselves. The suspension design, particularly that multi-link rear setup, was light years ahead of its time in the 1990s, providing a ride that is comfortable enough for daily driving but sharp enough for the track. And let's not forget the styling. It has aged like a fine wine. The rectangular headlights behind those glass covers, the subtle kidney grills that are not the size of a garage door, and those perfect proportions make it a head-turner even today. Whether you slam it on coilovers, fit a wide-body kit, or keep it totally original equipment manufacturer stock, it looks good. It is a canvas. It is your canvas. You can build a track monster, a stance car, a drift missile, or a pristine restoration. The aftermarket support is essentially infinite. You can swap in an S50 or S54 engine from the M3 models, or go crazy with an LES swap if you want to upset the purists. The possibilities are endless, and that is what a project car is all about. It is about the journey of building something that reflects you. It is about the late nights in the garage, the busted knuckles, the smell of old oil, and that distinct crayon smell that every old BMW interior seems to have. It is about the first time you turn the key after a major repair and hear it roar to life. The E36 gives you all of that. It is affordable enough to buy, simple enough to learn on, yet complex enough to keep you interested for years. It commands respect at car meets not because it is the most expensive car there, but because it is an icon. So, stop hesitating. Stop looking at sensible economy cars that will bore you to tears. Go find yourself a clean shell, preferably with a manual transmission, because the automatic boxes from that era are a bit sluggish, and start your journey. You will hate it when a window regulator clip breaks for the third time, but you will absolutely love it every time you hit an apex or nail a perfect downshift. That is the duality of the E36, and that is exactly why it is the perfect teacher.